Hey y'all, I gotta put this on pause. Hey, this is Homebody. It is January 1st, 2024. Okay, I just got back from my walk. Oh, I need some tissue. My tissue's all the way in the back. Oh, I can't reach. I'm gonna have to get out. Give me 1 minute, y'all. It is so hot today. Like maybe because I'm walking. Well, it's not. Well, it's kind of. I'm not gonna say hot. I feel hot because I've been walking, but it's not a cold day. It's nice today, and I have on tights underneath my tights. I have on this and a sweatshirt and a shirt underneath. I thought it was gonna be freezing today, and I never checked the weather. But I was just like, yeah, it's gonna be cold. It's wintertime, and it's like off and on. Sometimes it's cold, sometimes it's not, and I never know. And I had on my head, like my ear wrap. I had on my little neck cover or whatever. I had my gloves in my pocket, and I was like, I don't even need my gloves, but I had them in my pocket. And as I started walking, I started taking everything off. So this is why it's not on now. And I put it in my pocket because it doesn't fit in my fanny pack. And eventually I threw it in the bag. So I usually carry that kind of stuff in my car. But I want to talk to you about religion. Okay, this is my topic for the day. And the reason why is because as I was walking, I got approached by the Latter-dayers, the Latter-day Saints. And it's not my first time being approached by them. And typically when I see them, there appears a set of boys, right? But they've come to my house, and then as I was walking, I seen the girls. So I saw the girls back in like the summertime, and then I saw them again, like not the same girls, but I saw another set of girls today. And they were talking to me, and this is the funny part. The first set of girls didn't identify themselves as Latter-day Mormons or whatever. But they gave me their card. And so today, as they're talking to me, they pull out their card. And I was like, I had that card because the card has a barcode on it. So, and it's so funny. I was carrying this fanny pack when I saw them in the summer, and I pulled out the card. So, and it has the information on it. So, yeah. So they were going to give me their card, but they were like, I guess you already got one. And they wanted to like they schedule like 30-minute, you know how I guess their version of a Bible study or something. I'm like, no, I'm good. They was like, are you religious? And I was like, I was raised a Jehovah's Witness, and you know, like I'll talk to anyone, right? But I'm not joining nobody's church anytime soon. I just don't. I think if I'm supposed to, I'll be called to do it, right? That's how my parents joined. My mom she wanted and she needed something in that time in her life. And that's who knocked on the door that day, right? So if something like that happens for me, okay. If someone kind of comes to me and approaches me and I'm like, yeah, this is it, right? I know it when it happens, but it hasn't happened, right? And I told y'all, like when I was going to pick up my car from the dealership, the shuttle guy that picked me up invited me to his church. So it's like, you know, it's I'm not going to say the South is more religious. I'm not going to say that. But I have been invited. I've been invited up north too to different churches and stuff. And I tried, when my son was younger, I tried to join this church. It was a non-denominational church. But if you've been raised as a Jehovah's Witness, it's like, you know, this is what my belief is. Everybody ain't going to heaven, right? So when people preach that, it's almost like, no, this ain't it, right? So, but I was happy I was able to be baptized. I know I will never get baptized in the JW church. I know that's never going to happen because I'm never going to commit to that process. I never want to be committed to the Jehovah's Witness church. When you get baptized, you take an oath to be committed to that church. And I wouldn't do it. But I was happy to get baptized at the non-denominational church because I knew I was committing myself to God and not to a church. And my son, I had him get baptized. So, of course, when kids get baptized, people really think it doesn't mean anything. They feel like you have to be an adult. You have to make a conscious choice. And he did choose, like he wanted to. But he was also a kid, But I'm just happy that he was able. I don't know. I always felt like I wanted to get baptized, but I never wanted to do it as part of like this commitment to the church. Like, that's not going to happen. So that was my conversation for today, is about like religion and that kind of stuff. And I was thinking, like, I've been doing research, right? And like not like serious, like ongoing, like I have to choose a church. But I've done like ongoing research throughout my adult life, trying to figure out, okay, what church would be a good fit for me? Because this one is not a good fit for me, right? And I thought about, I believe that if I was to go to a church and join a church, it would probably be one that is very closely related to the JWs. And what I mean by that is that I don't mind what you call those churches that do like the praise and worship. I don't mind that. Like, I don't mind that, right? But I think a better fit for me would be a hymn style church. So a Lutheran church or a Mormon, like a hymn, like Jehovah's Witness. They do more hymns. They don't do like the whoop, 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 whoop. They don't do that, which I like it, but I don't think I would feel comfortable. Like, I like seeing other people do it, but I don't think I would join in. I don't think I would. I think I'm more like a calmer hymn style person, right? So it'll probably have to be a church like that. And I sent my son to the the Bible, like the summer Bible, like what would you call it? Who does the summer? Was it Methodist? Who does the give me 1 minute. 1 minute. I'm gonna look it up. Who does the let's see. Who does the Vacation Bible schools? That's what it's called, Vacation Bible. He did that for one summer. It was only he only did it once, and it was free. I'm trying to figure out who did it. What church was it? Because they do hymn style too. They do very hymn style. Because at the end of the Vacation Bible School, they actually do like a little graduation for the kids. And they do, I think it's Presbyterian. I think the Presbyterian churches do the Vacation Bible. So it would be a church like that, Presbyterian or Lutheran or Methodist, or those are where the Jehovah's Witnesses came from. The founder, he was Russell. I think he was a Lutheran or something first, and that's how he kind of spun off with the Jehovah's Witnesses. So that's probably more my style. I thought about doing going to visiting, I should say. I shouldn't say doing, but visiting the Seventh-day Adventists. But that's I probably wouldn't do them either. I found out, I did not know that they do feet washing. So like when they do like the memorial, they do their memorial like once a month. Like, they don't do it like once a year. They do it like once a month, and as part of their communion style, whatever they do feet washing, like the Last Supper style feet washing. And I could not do that. Can you imagine? I mean, I can imagine. Of course, I can't imagine, right? But I just don't. It's the thing. I don't mind washing feet. It's not an issue of me touching somebody else. I have no problem washing feet. I'm humble enough to be able to do that. I would do that. I don't want nobody washing my feet. That's the issue. I don't mind getting a pedicure, right? If it's a service I'm paying for, there's no, intimacy involved in this transaction with the, getting a pedicure at the salon, right? But the whole, we're dressed in our Sunday best, and me rolling my stocking down or whatever I got on my feet and having somebody wash my feet, no. So yeah, it's it's something where I feel like I have the time to commit myself. Like, I'm not a younger woman raising a young child and I'm busy and I got things going on. This would be a perfect time for me to commit myself to something, right? But what is out here is not what I'm interested. It's not just interest. It's the fact that I know. This is the thing about the JWs. I respect all people. I respect people's belief systems. But there are things I know for a fact that they are not truthful about. I know this because, number one, I read, right? And I'm not just reading to read. I'm reading with the hope that I'll have the Spirit direct me on how to interpret certain things. And of course, I get, as people, we all get things wrong. But there are things I know for a fact that they have misinterpreted. I'm not sure if they misinterpreted it on purpose to mislead or if they just don't know. But it is things that I know that they're not being truthful about, whether it's on purpose or not. And you sprinkle in discrimination, and you sprinkle in abuse, and you sprinkle in all those other little things, and I'm like, nah, I'm good, right? And I do think that they're at the top of the food chain when it comes to religion. I think that they teach the most truth, but it's not the full truth. It's not. It are things that I know for a fact that, and when you read it, you're like, how in the heck did they get to this when it says this? And it's just not, it doesn't make any sense, So, but yeah, it's just very funny how on today, they approach me. And typically what the Latter-day Saints do is they send out kids. So if you watch the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, it's the housewives that most of the Mormons, they live in Utah, right? So a lot of the people on that show that they cast come from the Latter-dayers, right? And I didn't know, but I recognized it, but I didn't know. Like, typically, like, when people commit to the church or whatever, when they're, like, just coming out of high school or whatever, they send them on missions. So a lot of the times when you get approached by the Latter-day Saints, they're kids. Okay, these are kids that may not have a lot of life experience, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. But from my perspective, they're not, I'm not going to say they can't teach me anything, because that's not true. I think that kids can teach adults, right? A whole lot, right? It's not the fact that they're kids, but it's the fact that their inexperience with other religions is and the same thing for Jehovah's Witnesses. Your inexperience with the real world, your inexperience with learning other religions is going to put you at a disadvantage, because there are things that you can't talk about because you don't know, right? So that's just my video for today, y'all. And I'm sure I'm missing some stuff that I wanted to talk about, but that's the highlight. That's the highlight. As soon as I got back to the car, I was like, when I was walking, I was like, yeah, I didn't want to make this a topic, but I think it makes sense to make it a topic because it just happened. Like, literally, it just happened. And it's not the first time. Like I said, I've been getting, I saw them in the summer. And the reason I remember it was the summertime is because I remember the girl said, I like your biker shorts. I remember I was hot. And like I said, I stopped and talked. They didn't identify themselves. So I always wondered if I should scan the barcode because I wanted to know what church it was. I was sure it was the Latter-day Saints because they typically do, they're younger people. And the reason why I was unsure was because they were girls. Typically, I see them as men or young men, right? It was my first time getting approached by girls, but they usually do approach in sets of two. But I wasn't sure because they never identified the church. And then today was a set of girls, and they actually identified they were Latter-day Saints. And they were talking about the Book of Mormon. They would ask me if I heard about the Book of Mormon. Yes. Like I said, I've done my research. I haven't done deep down diving. I haven't actually read the Book of Mormon, but I know enough about the Latter-day Saints that I know that they read from the Book of Mormon. I know that. And there's a lot of different books. Like, even the Catholics have books that the typical King James Version doesn't have. And I believe that those books are real. I don't think that they're like unrealistic books. I think that they are, like, when the Bible was canonized, they decided what books would go in. And once the canon became final, they didn't add any more books. So the Catholics and the Mormons and other religions, they have other books that the typical King James Bible doesn't have. Including the JW book doesn't have. They don't have certain books. So I believe that the Book of Mormon is a real book. I do. But will I read it? Probably not. 'Cause like I said, everyone, you have to pick and choose. Like, you only have limited time on earth. You don't have time to be reading all these different books. And, all you can do is say this. I think the King James Version is enough. That's enough proof that you need that Jesus is real, that God is real. That's all you need. Like, all the extra books are fine, right? But you really shouldn't need much more, to make a choice, right? So I do believe Jesus died for my sins, okay? And as far as choosing a church, it's not something that I feel like I need to do, because I feel like these churches are based on ego. Right? It's based on ego. People think, hey, I go to this church, I could do it better. I could do it better than they can, I know more than they do. That's all it is. It's all just who got the biggest stick, right? Who thinks they have the biggest Holy Spirit, right? Who thinks they are the chosen, right? And we all are, That's basically what it is. Why follow man when you can just follow God himself, right? So that's just where I'm at with it. But I'm not going to make this a long video. Y'all know I've been having trouble uploading longer videos. So we'll see how it goes. I did good so far with uploading the last couple videos. So we'll see. But I'm going to leave it at that. Y'all tell me what y'all think. Tell me what y'all New Year's goals are. My goal is, I think I mentioned it in another video, just to continue doing what I'm doing. I'm pretty frugal as it is, but to become better with saving and doing financial stuff and paying stuff. I got a lot to do. So that's my goal. That's the only real goal I have. I'm hoping that I'm still continuing to be blessed with good health and the health of my family as well, and friends. Okay, but I want y'all to take care. Have a good rest of y'all day. I'm gonna go home, make breakfast, get ready for tomorrow. Back to work, back to the week. All right, take care. Have a good one. I'll see y'all. Bye bye.